Door knockers and a dashiki. It must be Juneteenth. What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to the corner. It's your girl Koi here, and happy Juneteenth. Y'all, I feel so excited. I legit feel like this is a second birthday or like a first Christmas. Like, I don't even know how to describe this feeling I have right now, but happy Juneteenth to you. This is our Emancipation Day. This is our day to celebrate our freedom officially, and that's what we're gonna do today, especially here on the corner. But before we get on into this video and this look or whatever the case may be, how are you, kid? I hope you're well. I hope you're good wherever you are. This is a very special occasion, not just because it's Juneteenth, and we're gonna get into a little bit of what the history about Juneteenth is. I promise I'm not gonna keep you here long because I want to go enjoy the festivities. I know that it might be a little odd or it might seem a little weird to some people, you know, to celebrate our history of where we come and how far we've gone, given everything that we've gone through and are still going through, like now in the African American community. But I strongly feel like we have to take the scorns with the strives. We have to take it all together. This is a part of our experience. Yes, we have to say their names. Yes, they deserve justice, and we will get justice. Today, we celebrate. So, for those of us that don't know, just to kind of give you a little bit of an education, just to clear this up, the Emancipation Proclamation did absolutely nothing for African American slaves. Y'all can correct me, but I'm pretty sure it did nothing. The Emancipation Proclamation was more so kind of like a threat, kind of wasn't a threat, you know, type of situation to the South when they were seceding from the North and that whole big shebang. And then it kind of just went throughout, you know, just giving emancipation of African Americans, you know, because of what was going on with the war and whatnot. And then boom, blah, you have the Civil War, whatever. But that was irrelevant because I don't want to give you guys any wrong information. I'm gonna go to a good old trusted source that I found, and trust and believe, I put the link in the description box below for you to guys over with your own eyes. Also, if you have any questions or anything about Juneteenth or where it started or whatever may be, and this video doesn't answer it for you, there are numerous amounts of resources on the good old internet here, even other YouTubers that may have made content about Juneteenth to actually educate you. I know a lot of people, especially like non-black people, don't know how to embrace Juneteenth. And being completely honest with you, a lot of African Americans don't know how to embrace today. We think that we supposed to celebrate 4th of July. Every black person want to do a cookout and this, that, and the third, and have done for decades for the 4th of July. But this is really our Independence Day. So a lot of African Americans, a lot of black people are just now catching up to the trend. This has been something that's been honored as an annual holiday in like 45 states. Don't get me wrong. People that may know me may be like, well, Corey, you've never celebrated Juneteenth before. And being completely honest, I've never celebrated Juneteenth before. It's been more so because I just didn't know how to celebrate it. It was like, okay, this is the official emancipation of African Americans, you know, as slaves in the United States. But at the same time, you know, then it was just a situation of still living in and seeing, like, feeling like black life and the black voice was just being muted and shoved down to the bottom of the barrel. But now I don't know if it's because of the protests. I don't know if it's because of more awareness amongst African Americans in the community, outside of the community. I don't know. But it feels like there's actually a community that is celebrating. Like, it feels like we're all celebrating together. So I think that's why I'm celebrating this year. And I'm not going, hey, that's probably why a lot of people are celebrating. But what is Juneteenth, okay? So on June 19th, 1865, the announcement was made that tens of thousands of African Americans in Texas had been emancipated, closing the door on one of the last chapters of slavery in the United States. Juneteenth traces its origins back to Galveston, Texas, where on June 19th, 1865, Union soldiers led by Major General Gordon Granger landed in the city with news that the Civil War had ended and slaves were now free. The announcement came 2.5 years after President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. This is also after President Lincoln has been assassinated, of January 1st, 1863, that freed the slaves in Confederate states. The Emancipation Proclamation, like I said before, was a tool that Abraham Lincoln used to try and convince the South to come back into the Union, because he was basically saying, like, if y'all don't come back, I'm gonna free the slaves. Like, all the slaves in the Confederate states, every Confederate state that's fighting to keep their slaves, yeah, I'ma free all y'all slaves and y'all not gonna have nobody. And then on the other side, it was for those freed slaves that couldn't make it to enlist in the Union and to fight in the Civil War. But it was a threat to the Confederacy, and it was a threat that he played out, if I'm not mistaken, for like a good 8 months. But like during everything, like during the initial battles before the big coup de grace of the Civil War, he was kind of like throwing this out as a threat, like, if you don't come back by January 1st, I'm going to issue this Emancipation Proclamation and your slaves are going to be done for real. And that's when it kind of like kicked off. So yeah, January 1st, 1863 was when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed and ordered, but that did nothing because the Civil War probably, you know, I'm not good with dates, but I'm almost sure it started like after that or in that time frame or whatever the case may be, you know. And when it was over, when the Civil War ended and the Confederacy lost, okay, officially the announcement came 2 years later after President Lincoln is dead and after the initial announcement went out 2 years ago that all slaves are free in the Confederate States, but Texas was the last to get it, like I said. However, since that proclamation was made during the Civil War, it was ignored by Confederate states, and it wasn't until the end of the war the executive order was enforced in the South. Granger delivered the news himself, reading the General Order Number 3. This is, quote, "People of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and free labor." Day's name is a combination of June and the 19th in honor of the date of Granger's announcement, and it first appeared around 1903. The day was celebrated occasionally until it was revived during the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s. Juneteenth is recognized as a state holiday or special day of observance in 45 states. There is currently a push towards making the day a federal holiday, which I do, and I have noticed like not even since too long ago, further initiatives being pushed for Juneteenth to be recognized and honored as a federal holiday. Like, you know, getting paid to work it or getting paid time off. I'm going to encourage you, as I would encourage anyone that is curious about anything that they don't know anything about, look it up and research it for yourself. Like, there's so much resources out there. There's literally no excuse why you can't find your own reason or what your own research will show of what Juneteenth is and what Juneteenth means. For me, Juneteenth matters much more than I think anybody really understands. I say that because in light of everything that we've gone through as a community within the last 20 years, I'll give 20 years because I'm 25. Within the last 20 years of things that we've gone through, the African American community, I don't want to say this is the worst that we've gone through. I don't know even if this is the most psychologically tormenting period that we've ever experienced on this soil. But what I will say is this year, in the first 6 months we've gone through, especially in the last 2 months, the African American community has just been riddled with a surge of just being reminded of not only we're seeing like on the totem pole in the world, but also where we see each other, how we see others outside of our community, or so like what it is that we need to really get back in touch with. Juneteenth to me isn't just a celebration of freedom. It's not just a celebration of the last batch of slaves being freed from Texas, because so many slaves died and fought and hid and ran prior to this day were free. Thanks to Harriet Tubman, who freed over 1,000 slaves on her own. Thanks to the Underground Railroad that helped assist it. Thanks to other abolitionists. There were so many slaves from America that had been freed, that had been, you know, taken north, taken to Canada, taken outside of the United States. Juneteenth for me is not just a day where you get to show up in your dashiki or in your whatever, you know, cultural garb, or your Black Lives Matter mask, or your black people so dope t-shirt. It's not just a day for that. This is not just a day where black people, we rally behind each other and we stand by black owned businesses, we support black owned businesses. This is not just a day where we as a community, we as African Americans on this soil, this is not just a day where we're nice to each other just because it's Juneteenth. This energy that is being circulated around this day needs to continue all year round. I'm black 366, 25, 8. Today I'm just a little bit blacker. Today I'm just a little more proud. Today I'm just gonna hold my head a little bit higher. Today I'm just gonna be a little bit nicer. But tomorrow, this is still gonna resonate. this is still gonna be here. I love my people every day of the year. I love everything that we've gone through, because if we didn't go through what we've gone through, we wouldn't be where we are today. That's just it. That's really all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to drop down in the comments and let me know how you're celebrating Juneteenth, if you plan on celebrating Juneteenth, or what your thoughts are about it. Don't forget, there's a ton of research out there, so you can get as much information as you need to feel comfortable to celebrate, or to educate someone about why they should celebrate, or why they should take pride in wanting to celebrate. I need to get my whole Kwanzaa situation together, because this ain't the only blackity black holiday I'ma be celebrating this year. This might just be the year that kick off the year of tradition. Like, I feel like black people about to start doing a lot of old traditions we used to do, about to start coming back around, and I really hope that the community, bringing back the sense of community and bringing back that sense of unity, and it's not just because today is Juneteenth. But like I said, that's it. That's all I have. Don't forget to like this video if you haven't already. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and while you're subscribing, I say this all the time, please put on your notification bells so that you never miss when the kids are gathered. I'm gonna go because I'm rambling at this point. I feel like I'm just so excited. I just want to go and be black and eat and dance and just have a good time. Happy Juneteenth, y'all. I'm out of here. Deuces.